We really felt like we had opportunities to win the game. Did not go our way, obviously. We're still excited about our 2 opportunities that we have left to finish this season on a high note. We're looking forward to playing Florida State. Excellent football team, outstanding athletes, well coached. We're getting back into the upper echelon of the conference, and it's going to be a very tough task, but we're looking forward to our opportunity against that fine football team. Questions?
Mark in the back.
Hey, Coach, how are you?
Hey, Mark.
I wondered if it was your decision or the doctor's decision to not play Eric Saturday, if he's been cleared to practice and what his status is.
All medical decisions are always with the doctor. In my brief tenure as a head football coach, it's something you're not allowed to cross the line. They'll tell us if the guys can play. They'll tell us if they can't. They'll tell us if he's out of play or a quarter. And when they tell us he's back available, then I get to decide whether I want to put him back in once he's available. But when they're taken out, it's always the medical team.
So it was the doctor's decision?
Yes, sir.
Has he been cleared to practice? Has he practiced?
You know, he has not. I have not gotten word that he is cleared to practice yet. But that word comes slow on Mondays because we don't see the doctors until later in the afternoon because they still have their own private practices and they're having surgeries in the hospitals and stuff like that.
Okay, so he didn't practice last week?
He was at practice last week. Yes, he was.
So he was cleared last week?
He was not cleared, but he was at practice. Yes.
On the right.
And Coach, you saw a great running back in Matthew Days, and now Florida State brings Alpha Coke to the dome. What are you trying to do to stop that rushing attack as well, given last week's experience?
You know, he's really good. He's really good. I thought he was a good player, then I think I caught some tape of him. I believe it was the Clemson game when he was running away from the Clemson guys, and I had no idea that he was that fast, so I apologize. Boom. The guy is, with that kind of speed and that kind of moves, he's a very, very dynamic back. He's got to be one of the top backs in the country. I hope he's a junior or a senior, so I don't have to see him that much. Is he a senior?
I'm not sure of that.
I hope he's older, because he's really, really good.
Steve?
Obviously, Baylor is looking to bring in a new head coach this year, and I think anyone who knows your background knows you were a part of, their rise there, and naturally wonders if they might look at you. Has there been any contact in either direction, in any medium through a firm or an agent, any kind of contact about that opening?
First of all, that's, I want to talk about Syracuse and stuff like that, but no, there's been no contact. I have one job. And I have a very, very difficult job to do, and I'm totally locked in on doing that job.
Is there any interest at all in looking at openings this offseason?
I'm not even going to talk about any of that stuff. My main thing is trying to find a way to get this team to a bowl.
Okay, thanks, Dino.
Tomer.
Obviously, last week, we were at the press conference. Eric was just coming off the injury. Comes in. You still weren't sure what the doctors were going to say. He's been out the whole week. Can you tell us what he's been out with, what injury he does have?
They're going through tests, and now they're going through secondary tests. They're getting a second opinion on stuff. So we got to wait for the second opinion, and we got to wait to see what that doctor says. So I'm not keeping information from you. We're looking for new information. I haven't received that information.
Any other questions for Coach? John?
We've seen Chris Frederick out there in the starting role, and Cordell Hudson got back last week on special teams. I'm just wondering, how close is Cordell to being 100%? And, did Chris Frederick just jump him on the depth chart, or is that about working Cordell back in?
Well, I think you need to work Cordell back in too. It's not, you're clear to go. You've missed a game, 2, 3, 4. Condition-wise, you're not up to par with where the other guys are at. So I think it's a matter of just working it back in. Now, you still have to play well, and Frederick has been playing okay. So once he gets back into game shape, it's whoever's the best guy at lineup.
Nico?
Coach, senior day this weekend, especially with your first year in the program, how much did those seniors really help bring this team together with your staff and all the new players that came in? And what do they mean to you here in their last game of carrying?
Every senior group that I've been with, we've had an opportunity to make their season better than the season that they've had before that, and I take great pride in that. I can still remember meeting the seniors for the very first time in this room and telling them it was going to be different and that they need to have faith and that we were going to do some great things. I think that We've occasionally done some great things, but we've consistently haven't been good enough. And it would be really cool to finish off these last 2 games with 2 solid, consistent performances with an opportunity to maybe play a third for that senior group. I think they deserve it. I believe they've been under 3 head football coaches, which is difficult for any young man in that age group from 18 to 22. And sometimes I know life's not fair, but I really hope that it's fair for these guys because I think they're a special group. They're a small group that's on the football field, but I think they're special. Good question, Nico.
Mark?
Coach, on the offense, especially if Eric can't go again this week, with Zach in there against North Carolina, getting 10 first downs, is there consideration to play 2 quarterbacks to jumpstart the offense somehow? I mean, it's not going to get any easier.
You know, I thought Zach played extremely well. When you look at his first half numbers, I want to say he was, I might be off, like 9 for 13 or something close to that. Again, anytime you lose a player as valuable as Eric, it's not that the backup has to play as good as Eric. It would be very rare to have 2 individuals at that position at that level, especially where we're at here in our program. But you have to get the other 21 guys to play better. You know, you got to get the O-line, the running backs, the wide receivers, the D-line, the secondary, the linebackers, the special teams, the kickers, the punters, the guys covering. You got to get the rest, and the coaches. We've got to coach better. The other 21's got to play better. And that new guy that's stepping up, he just needs to just handle the game. Don't try to play play from within yourself, and don't try to do more than what you're capable of doing. I thought Zach played a good game. I thought he gave us a chance to win a football game against a very fine football team. And for someone that had not been on the field under our tenure in that situation, I thought he represented himself very well.
Time for 2 more questions. John and Steve.
I think it was 2 weeks ago you said you were happy with the position your team was in with 4 games to go in the season. Now 2 weeks later with 2 games left, how do you feel about the position that your team is in?
Well, I look back to previous teams. We're still sitting at 4 wins. We still have 2 more opportunities, which means with 2 wins that I would imagine that we're guaranteed that we're going to go to a bowl game. You never know what might happen with 1. I would like to think that we have a chance, and anytime you have a chance this late in the season, I think that's a positive. When you look around the country, there's a lot of teams with 3, 2, 1. When it comes to wins, and they really don't have a chance with 2 games left. And we're not one of those teams. We have a chance, we have an opportunity, and hopefully we're going to do everything we can to take advantage of it.
I think most folks who follow the team have seen Eric take so many hits that they kind of wonder after this last one. Is there any thought that it might be career-ending at all?
You know, I don't want to speculate, Stephen, especially when it comes to someone in our family. And then Eric is a special individual. I think he's earned the right for us to not talk about his business publicly, and to let him handle his, let the doctors handle it, and then tell us exactly what's going on. I know that everybody in the Syracuse community wants nothing but the best for that young man, and his mom and his brother and all that stuff. We want what's best for him. So the doctors figure it out, and then whatever they tell us to do, we'll do.